Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another comic book review, and today's book is actually a mainstream title from Boom Studios called Basilisk. And like always, we are going to be reviewing the cover, the story, and the quality of the book. And we're going to jump right into this. This is a story I am a huge fan of and actually enjoyed very much. And up on the screen is the cover. This is the cover to the graphic novel, which contains issues 1 through 5. And this cover is absolutely amazing to me. Like what I like about it the most is something that I've appreciated after I've read the story. And so like on the cover you see right there in the middle is one of the main protagonists in the book. Her name is called Regan, and behind her are other people that are super powered just like her but with different abilities. And what this cover does is they actually highlight um some of the abilities that these people possess. And so for example, Regan, the person that's in the middle, her powers come from her eyes. And so if you look at her eyes in the cover, you could see it has kind of like a luminescent blue to it. And then when you look to her right, to the left side of the core of the cover, the guy, his mouth is highlighted. His powers come from his mouth. And then the little girl next to him, her power comes from that thing, the little crown around her head. It's like a little crown of flowers and such. The guy with the hat and the feather, his power is related to the bird, and the birds that he has control over. They're ravens. Um, yeah, and then the woman right next to him, her powers come from her hands, and I thought that was just an awesome touch to this cover, and I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, great cover, guys. Great cover. Good job. Now we're going to look into the interior arts. And bam. And this is actually the first page of the book, of the story in the book. And I'm going to talk about the art and the story side by side, because this book did something that I absolutely love, is that their story is driven by the art. Most of their story is told by their panels, their art style and art choices. And and we could look at it here on the first page, where there's this 5 panel layout, and it has that um mountainous region, and it just shows um it just shows the progression of the page right here. And so like it shows the people that were on the cover. They're wandering through this wilderness, and at the bottom of the page they come and approach this village, this little mountain town. And we'll go to the next page, and this is them when they actually wandered into the town. And gosh, man, like I really love this art style. You see the characters, they pop out in the foreground, and they're completely different from the background. And they're prominent, and even that angle too, it kind of shows like a little bit of dominance, because like it's not so much of a it's not a completely like downward angle looking up, but it's slightly like that, where we are kind of looking up to these individuals, hinting that they are superior in some type of way. And then we'll move to the next slide, and you can see here there's very little dialogue. Like this is 3 pages in, and then now we just get some dialogue. And like the word bubbles and the words in this book, um they are they are purely only there to help move on the plot. And I feel like they chose the perfect amount of words. Like This sounds kind of I guess nerdy or nitpicky or maybe a little bit extreme, I guess, but I really felt like they sized it up perfectly because you don't have a bunch of word bubbles or large word bubbles just condensed with a bunch of like pretty much like a paragraph. You just have a few words in each one, and it expresses um what the actual picture cannot. And so here on the top panel, you have this older man. He's basically offering help, and then the panel right below it, you see one of the people that came wandering into the town. You could see like the aggression in her eyes, and and then she immediately grabs him. He makes like a little grunt sound. The others that were with her just looking on, and then you could see her using the power that she has through her hand, and she's killing that guy. And then we just move on. I'm not doing every single page consecutively. I'm jumping around a little bit. So, but those were the first 3 pages in the book. Um, and so this is a couple more pages I just wanted to show off because like you see like their use of art is just great, man. And so up here in the upper left corner, there's a bird. It's one of those ravens or crows or whatever, and that that particular guy's power, like he's able to see what's going on through these birds. um, and these birds are following this person, Regan, who's the lady, the girl that was in the center of the cover, and she's just strolling around, and you could just see here how those panels really just flow together very well, and it paints out this scene perfectly. Like you have um, she's basically being spied on from above. She's walking, like walking on the street, and then she comes up to this little diner. Very simple, but I just love how they expressed every single bit of this scene without a word bubble. It was all expressed through the art. And then when she enters in, um, you get pretty much more of that. And the only word bubbles you have just little chit chat here from some of the patrons in there, and then between her and the waitress, and it tells the story in this panel, this scene flawlessly. Just absolutely love it. And I, oh man, I wish more artists would do stuff like that, where they would put in a tremendous amount of effort in telling the story with the art, and then leaving out as many words as possible and only putting in words that are meaningful to the plot and interactions between the characters within the book. And because a lot of comic book people, or not people, a lot of some comic book creators, they they basically like tell what's happening in the scene within the dialogue. And I feel like it's, since we are looking at comics, which are a visual medium, the art should be conveying that. And this book, once again, I'm gonna harp on this quite a bit throughout this review. This book does that perfectly, and I absolutely love it. Um, and this page right here, this is Regan using her abilities, and she is actually killing some of the followers. And the followers are a group of humans that are basically worshiping her and her group, because they view them as gods. And this is her basically killing some of them, because the plot of this book, um, it it goes like this. Regan and her group, they escape from some type of like holding facility. The first 5 issues of this book do not go in great detail to where they came from and what their origins are, but what they do let us know is they escaped from some type of facility that was holding them captive. And when they came to that mountain town, they did not have control of their abilities, and they did not really know how to use them to their full potential. And so what they ended up doing was slaughtering that entire town. And our main human protagonist, whose name is Anna, I mean not Anna, Hannah. Her family, her husband, her kids got killed by these quote unquote gods, and she is seeking out revenge to basically kill them and end their life so they can't hurt anyone anymore. Um, and Regan, who's also one of our protagonists, she broke away from her group because she does not like the mindless killing and torture and brutal treatment that the rest of her group takes, basically just does to people. Um, and so in this page right here, this is like Hannah is in the top middle of the three top panels. She's right there in the middle. Um, and they're inside this motel. The followers found them. Um, they shot up the place, and then Regan stood up, used her powers, killed them, and then Regan, and Hannah are developing a plan to kill the rest of Regan's group, who is these people right here. That's the rest of her group. They all have those god powers, and they use them very malevolently. And here is a page that actually shows the aftermath of their visit to that mountain town, and it's just done so well, man. Like you see the landscape of the town in the top, and then it goes, like it immediately shows all the dead bodies and just how differently they were killed. That middle panel, that was due to Regan and her powers. She basically like fries the minds and brains of people who look at her eyes, and so that's what happened to those people in the middle. And at the very bottom, not the very bottom, second from the top, is that old man that had his mouth grabbed by that lady. In the I think it was the second or third page that I showed, and that is his dead body right there. That's basically just a dried out husk. Um, yeah, and we'll just move on. And this top panel, because this is the page right after the one I just showed you. This top panel um, is the power of another one of them, the guy that whose powers comes from his mouth. And what he does is he basically has some type of like mind control, um, to where he can basically manipulate people into doing actions that will hurt themselves or others. And in this case, you have this guy eating this dude on the ground, and he cannot stop, even though he wants to. And then the rest of this is just Regan. You know, she was having her regrets and her morality issue, and then this is just more of that just brutal killing. And you just see the just the like brutishness of these people, man, because they're enjoying seeing these guys do this to themselves. They're enjoying it. And then this is another panel. This is another page that's later in the book, and this shows off more of the guys whose powers comes from his mouth. His name is, I believe, Jimmy Boy or Johnny Boy, and he went into a diner and basically slaughtered everyone. And he did that by, he released his power, and now these people are eating themselves. This guy up in the top is jamming a fork up his nose. This guy in the bottom, he dips his head into the deep fryer, killing himself. And they just did that just just for fun, just because they could. And then this last panel, I just wanted to show this because these two characters, this is Regan and this bald guy. I cannot remember his name. Um, they are basically the only good ones, the good quote unquote gods, and they they're helping form this plan to basically kill their group. And Regan is telling this guy who's like, "Hey, I got, we're gonna meet up with you guys, but make sure you are not there because she doesn't want him dead while they spring this trap." And that is the last page I'm going to show. Um, I'm going to go back to the cover. And so yeah, and so like the story is fun, the story is engaging, and the art and the story just flow so well together. And there's minimal dialogue. Most of the story is driven and shown through the art style itself, through the art and its panels and everything. And I absolutely love this. And I am hooked in this story. This is possibly one of the best mainstream books that I'm currently reading right now. It's just, like it hits all those marks for me. And um, now I want to show you guys the quality of the book as well. This let me turn on this light real quick. I should have done that before. Um, there we go. Like I said before, this is a graphic novel, so it's basically a trade of the first 5 issues, and it's perfect bound, as you can see right here. It's through Boom Studios. It's roughly, I would say, about 120, 130-ish pages. The cardstock is thick in the front. It's basically like your typical perfect bound book. Um, the inner pages, they have a glossy finish, and the pages themselves are decent quality. They're not super thick. They do bend, so you just got to be a little bit careful to that. But they're good quality. They're very good quality. Um, and like most of Boom's um, graphic novels, they put the covers of the different issues in the back. And so like these are, like different covers. Some of them are variant covers right here. And I just love that they do that. Like you get to see um some of the characters, some of the other characters, and it's just done extremely well. Extremely well. And so yeah, and that's basically the review. And this is the creative team right here. I should have muted my phone, sorry. But this is the creative team right here. Absolutely amazing group. I am looking forward to the next iterations of this. I will be doing another review on this thing once volume 2 comes out. They're currently in issue 7 or 8, I believe, and then they release the graphic novels after every 5 issues. So when issue 10 comes out, it's going to be several months, and then they'll release the second volume of this. But yeah, guys, I highly recommend this. I will leave a link to where you could get this book in the description. I got it from my LCS for about, I think it was like $15, 15, $16, something like that. Very affordable, absolutely worth it. This is a title I highly encourage you guys to get. You could also get it on Amazon for similar price, maybe even cheaper. But like I said, I'll leave all that in the description for you guys. And so that's the end of the review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys for stopping by and watching this whole thing. And I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.